Hello, nerds. Welcome back to another episode of New Block Nerds Podcast. I am your host, Chris, aka Prince, with the homie Duran, aka Medic Grizzly. Duran, how we doing, bro?
Doing well, man. What's good, people? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Sorry, I apologize for my voice. I feel like when you have a kid, you're just like perpetually kind of getting over a sickness all the time
Yeah.
because they're just a ball of germs and ickiness. Um, but such is parenthood. But anyways, we are here to talk about the Flash. So we were talking about this last week.
Woo!
We knew the Flash was going to drop a trailer during the Super Bowl. Honestly, for a long time, dude, I wasn't even sure if this movie was even going to see the fucking light of day. But apparently, it is.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've made it, and from all accounts, everything that we've heard in nerddom is that it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And if the movie is anything like this trailer, they might be right. I don't know. So I want to throw it to you because, like, obviously this movie is going to have a lot of influence from the Flashpoint comic book run and the Flashpoint animated movie. So, like, what were your thoughts, like, when you? Because I know, like, the group chat kind of went nuts for a second because
It did.
because it dropped.
So,
And so what were your thoughts like when it first dropped?
I got to give you kudos because you definitely called this last week. I said, yo, they're going to do Flashpoint. If fans don't know what Flashpoint is, it's on It's on HBO Max. You can go watch it. Pretty much, long story short, is Barry Allen Flash. His mother dies. It goes through where he feels like he was run back in time to save his mom. And with that happening, a ripple effect happens and things change throughout the entire thing of DC, which gave us the birth of the best DC comic books I personally think of all time and the New 52. There's just something about that storyline having it like rejuvenate everything and how that was a starting point. You can go to a local comic shop, you can buy it, or you can watch it over there. But when I seen this and you called it saying it's gonna be two berries, I was like, nah, they're not gonna do that. Especially with all like the heat and everything that's happened with this particular movie for the past couple of years. They've been doing this for like I think since 2014. Like that's how many like change of hands has been there from like
Yeah, bro,
owner
this movie's been in the works for years.
Yeah, so
Years.
Cats probably think like, yo, they copying Marvel with this whole time thing. Like, no, this has been like in the works, but no one's like really put the gas to the pedal and actually started going pedal to gas. So as things keep going and progress, when I saw the trailer and I saw Zod, I got hype. I got real hype because like you and I both talk about this. Man of Steel is a great freaking movie. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a highly underrated comic book film.
Yeah, I freaking loved it. And then when I see both berries, if it is both berries, we don't know yet because man was wearing yellow, so we don't know what's going on yet. And then you had the Batman's 1989 come back in there with the original. When you were a kid, did you have the little toy Batman car, like
Oh
the
yeah,
original?
dude.
So
When I was a kid, my brother and I had like a million different iterations of Batman toys.
Yes,
It was like you would have one of like your Ninja Turtles, so we'd have like one of each like Ninja Turtle. We'd have a couple other things, but like Batman action figures, we had like 30 of them, and they were all different like suits and different colors and all kinds of stuff.
So our pop-up used to always go to the market, and whenever we go to like the flea markets, he always give me the cars. I love cars. I grew up on NASCAR, and the Batman one, he got me the original Michael Keaton Batman one that I freaking love. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. I was driving around that thing all day, and just seeing that and having it like it makes me want to go back and watch the 1989 film. Like I haven't thought about watching that film like in years. I thought like it's dead, it's gone. But like knowing that they're gonna bring that back and have a touch on it, what did you think about that? Did you think because like in Flashpoint it's Thomas Wayne? Did you think he's gonna be Bruce or do you think he's gonna be Thomas? Like what do you think's gonna happen when you saw that?
I think he's gonna be Bruce.
Okay.
I think again, like when we talk about adapting comic books or animated, movies into live action, there are some things that you do have to change. Like for example, we're getting two berries instead of Reverse Flash, right? I do still think one of the Barrys is going to be evil, but it's not going to be. That's something that they're changing, right? The same thing can be true for having multiple Batmen. I do think this is still going to be Bruce Wayne. We're just going to have multiple Bruce Waynes. Like we saw Ben Affleck in the trailer. He's obviously Bruce. And then we're getting Michael Keaton's version of Bruce Wayne, which, like, to your point, like a lot of people, that's their definitive Batman. You know what I mean? It's not Christian Bale. It's not Ben Affleck. It's definitely not Val Kilmer or George Clooney. It's like, it's, you know, Michael Keaton is their guy. And they even put that like very like on the nose quote where it's just like, yeah, I'm Batman. So I feel like a lot of people are going to like lose their shit in the theater, like when they see that point.
So we have like when the whole thing with Barry and the Flash character, for those who don't know, the Flash, some would argue, is the strongest character there is. His possibilities is endless when it comes to time and speed and force. And him changing to go back to where his mother was alive. And you see there's two different Barrys. You see there's two different moms, like an older hand and an earlier one. Then you see them dancing in the kitchen with the younger Barry. So he actually goes to different timelines. And then he comes to different Batman timelines. Do you think that it's only two Batmans that you're going to see? Or do you think it's going to be a third Batman?
You know, that's a good question. Because like there have been rumors that there's going to be another cameo of a Batman. So
it can't be Clooney. It can't be Clooney.
I don't know, dude. Well, because all right, so going back to like what you were saying at the beginning about like what the Flashpoint story is, right? So in the comics, the Flashpoint story, like you said, it basically was used as a tool to reboot the entire DC comic book universe. And that gave birth to the New 52. James Gunn is basically doing the same thing with this movie. He's going to use the Flash movie to reboot the live action DC universe, right? And so in the comics, they kept some things and changed other things, right? And so maybe that can explain why maybe there are some castings that stay the same moving forward in the DCU and some change.
Well, I felt very interesting that you mentioned that James Gunn and the casting and what he chose and how everybody had a big thing about no Henry, but then he announced there's going to be a Superwoman. And then in this particular film, you get a glance, the first one they're going to show. And it's like, this is a starting block. We thought that James Gunn's starting block would start with his movies, but he's like almost like kind of had his fingers with this a little bit the whole time. And it makes sense. The flow of it's going to make sense to the next universe. And I'm excited. I can say this now, like out loud, that DC has me excited.
Yeah.
So do you think, we mentioned how there's like Zoom, people know Reverse Flash. And then I mentioned that there's yellow headphone set, yellow backpack. And you're mentioning how there's more than one Barry. Do you think that is like actually going to be Zoom in a different universe? Or do you think this is going to be the two good Barrys? I think it's a third Flash also. Look at the tornado and you actually see him drop kick. I feel like there's a third one. Yeah,
because like to that point, because like we know that we have regular Barry that we've been following for a couple of movies who has the new and improved red classic Flash suit. And we've got Barry number 2 with the headphones and wearing the yellow, who has got this like makeshift suit that is presumably an old Batman suit that he just spray painted red. But then in the trailer, we see them taking on Zod, and there's a red suit and a black suit when they kind of like touch heels. So I don't know, to your point, I don't know if there's maybe another Flash. Like if there's going to be another Flash in the mix, right? But, and this is just my theory, what I think is the Barrys are going to end up being enemies. And this is why I say this. Because in the beginning of the trailer, you have Michael Keaton's Batman asking him, you can go to any timeline, go to any world. Why are you fighting to save this one? And he tells him, because this is the one where my mom lives. Right? And we know at the end of the Flashpoint story, Barry accepts that, like, hey, mom has to die. Both of those Barrys ain't going to be okay with that.
No. Not at all.
And
Not
that's
at
where I
all.
think there's going to be that natural conflict, right? It's just our Barry is probably going to go back in time to save his mom, then realize the damage that he's done, and then say, "No, I got to go try and fix this." But in order to fix this, basically have to sacrifice mom. And I think the other Barrys at that point is going to be like, "Nah, fuck that.
Throw hands.
Your mom died. My mom's alive in this universe. You leave my shit alone," basically. And that's where I think the conflict is going to come from that.
It's crazy you said that because like I'm thinking like even in Flashpoint, Barry didn't have his powers when he went back, so they had to recreate the actual experiment that took it. And then you see the trailer with the Batwing, you see the blood lightning bolt, and then you see Supergirl woman carrying. It looks like Barry up into the sky. Like they're trying to like basically reanimate what's happened for him to get his powers.
Right.
So if the F6 Barry does not have his powers, and then you have this other Barry saying, "Hey, your mom is now my mom," or realize, "Hey, she's got to go," I can definitely see that conflict taking place.
Yeah.
So, what was the point of bringing Michael Keaton? Like, what do you think? Like, are they trying to pay homage to let fans know that we didn't forget about our old times, or do you think that it just makes sense for the story? Because Ben has been reportedly not going to be the Batman moving forward. They said he may come and do like a producing a movie, but he's not going to be the Batman. So, what's the point of bringing someone else in there?
That's a good question. I think, again, theorizing. I think number one, they knew if they were going to another universe, they couldn't just use Ben again, right?
That's true.
And at this point, from our knowledge, especially when they started filming this movie, they had not decided on who was going to replace Ben as the main DCU Batman.
Okay.
Right? So you can't put someone new in there because you don't know who that person is yet. And in the comics,
there's two Barrys. They're using the same actors for two Barrys, so it could have been a possibility of using Ben twice.
Right?
It was before. This is pre.
That's
supposedly
true.
Pre James Gunn.
That's true. But also too in the comics, right? You got to remember, like you said, Batman ends up being Thomas Wayne, an older version of Batman. So it's kind of killing two birds in one stone, right? Like you get to pay homage to, Batmans of old, while also kind of taking something from the comics and tweaking it to make it fit the movie.
So I have a theory.
Okay.
Well, I'm not even calling it theory. I'm just calling it Duran's crazy mind. You know how my mind goes.
I feel like we have to start creating like a specific segment for your hot takes.
Yeah, because it's like it's I don't know what's called. We gotta figure out something. All right, so we are walking into a new world with James Gunn, but we still have recently. Like they were talking about how Netflix was pushing. Well, people were petitioning for Netflix to take over Snyderverse and put it on Netflix and let him complete his actual vision. Of course, your guy, Mr. Jerry Jones, James Gunn, wants to speak out about it and said that they have had conversations and that's not going to happen. So it makes me feel like he wants to like honor the old with his new. So with that being said, one of the Batmans have to die in this film. And I think moving forward, I think Michael Keaton might be a big part in this. I think my theory is that he comes out as the old seasoned Batman, the older Batman. Get rid of Ben, he's done. He dies in this film for whatever reason. He's out of here. You kill Batman. You don't have Clark Kent right now. He's done. So that whole prime Superman Batman are gone. You now have the vintage old Batman, and you move him in. That if you want to have, that's the one that's more mature and can actually lead Damian down a better path. And then eventually I think he dies. And that's when Nightwing takes over as the mantle of Batman. So when they I think that is going to be moving forward. I think it's going to be that's why you get the Batman and Damon. I think Damon and Nightwing's story and the comics is what's going to eventually be what it's going to be. It's not going to be your typical Bruce, which explains Red Hood, explains Oracle. And my personal opinion is why they scrapped Batwoman. I think they scrapped it not because it wasn't Batgirl. It's because they have a plan for that. And my theory. I know it sounds crazy, but just think about it. This is the one we always wanted, like a older Batman for this very reason, and they're giving it to us if they do it this way, and they have the timing right.
Okay, so here's my biggest issue with your theory.
Okay.
Again, you got to remember where DC is right now with the fandom. They are not doing well with the fandom, right? The last iteration of Bruce Batman was not particularly well received in the movies that he was in, right? If you are rebooting the DC universe, and we all know that you have to build around Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. That is, you have no DC universe without those three, right?
I'm not going to agree with that.
I don't think. Okay, well, that's you don't have to agree with it because 1 + 1 = 2. Those are just facts. I don't think that they are going to move forward with a new iteration of the Justice League and the DC universe and not have Bruce as Batman. I don't see that.
Well, to answer your question about the Holy Trinity, I feel like they tried that and the stories were not complete. So I'm not going to say they failed because of the three. They failed because the writers and the direction of DC was not
right.
Good. So I'm not going to blame the actor or actress for that. But moving forward, James Gunn wants to, I feel like he's a person where he wants to break down the wall and build his own new house. And the way you do that is not following the path of others. And his mind and the way he does things, I know you sound like, hey, the fans don't really, they had a bad reputation before in the past. But you can say right now, even your own instincts are saying, hey, this is going in the right direction. We haven't got this hype for a long, long time. I personally just think that it could be I'm not saying I'm not saying Bruce is dead, but Bruce is still there, but he's not Batman.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I know. Because like it almost comes off a little bit like almost like passing the torch type thing, as in like it just gives the opportunity for potentially a Batman Beyond. Like I feel like they're going to like almost like time skipping like everything that DC tried to do for the past 20 years, and now they're taking it as it should have been, and they're doing their own thing.
So here's what I'll give you. I will give you that if we are ever going to get a Batman Beyond movie, James Gunn is the guy to do it. He's going to be the guy to take that swing. However, I do think you got to pick your spots. Number one, we're already getting a live action Robin, which we haven't gotten since George Clooney.
Yes.
Okay. That's happening. And not only are we getting a Robin, we're getting Damian Wayne Robin. Right. So I already feel like this is the big swing here that he's taken anyways. Yes. I don't think that he's going to double down and be like, not only am I going to give you guys Damian Wayne Robin, Bruce is also just going forward in the main DC universe. He's also going to be old and out of action, and Dick Grayson's going to take over the mantle of Batman. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
I get that you're not seeing it. Oh, this is the reason why the Flash trailer is so cool, because like you brought back Zod. You brought in, so I'm guessing, and he went to a timeline where then he says, I got raced where there's no metahumans. So you probably went to a timeline where Superman was not there or he died. And give me a Batman vs Superman. They confirmed that other pod was who she was, and she's actually coming back into this film. So it gives some relevancy to your Batman vs Superman, I guess. Get a little thumbs up, I guess. So moving forward with it, I don't think it's that big of a stretch, because what is next? We've always loved Batman because of the pedigree of what Batman started to how the Batman family takes it and keeps on going. We're going to wait 10 years to get a Batman family film?
No, because this is because you got to remember, right? If James Gunn, and I want to get back to the trailer in a second, but if James Gunn is introducing Damian Wayne in his new Batman movie that's going to come out in the next couple of years, there's already a Bat family operating. We're just not going to get the build up to them becoming their own things. They're already going to be operating as Nightwing, Red Hood, perhaps Red Robin, Oracle, all these other characters. So I don't think that it's going to be like we have to build up to seeing the Bat family. They're already going to be out there because Damian Wayne exists. Damian Wayne can't exist without those other Robins existing before him.
Well, the reason why we're talking about that part is because like this Flash trailer and like the ramifications afterwards are like the ripple effects so you can reach across the world.
Right.
So we're talking about Superman not being Superman anymore. We're talking about how potentially there's rumors going around that it could be John Kent, not Clark Kent. As I'm starting Legacy, it could be his son. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's just rumors about it. And then you on top of that, and New 52, it's just a lot of stories you can pull from. Just where does he want to pull it from? I don't know if he even wants to do a blend of his own personal universe and his view of seeing things. But my question for you, what I pose is, the actor has had a very troubled past in the past year. If this movie is very successful, do you keep him?
I'm glad I don't have to make these kinds of decisions. The way that they're talking about, I mean, there have been statements that come out that says, Ezra's been getting the help he needs and all this other PR nonsense.
Yeah.
I think they're in a tough spot because at the end of the day, this is a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from all accounts, again, we've said it before and I'll say it again, by all accounts, this movie is amazing. It's what people are saying. And for whatever Ezra has done outside of the film room, he's a pretty talented actor. And the fact that there's going to be 2 Barrys in this movie, I feel like he's going to kill it. Right? But, and this is the thing that is like, has me so excited about the Flash movie, because to your point, the way that they did the New 52 or ushered in the New 52, it's a reset. It's your reset button. We've said this for years about how, the DC universe was kind of going down the wrong path. I was just like, look, you have a living, breathing reset button in the Flash. So the things that you want to keep, you can keep. The things that you don't want to keep, you can scrap. And you can justify it all using the Flash. So I think, go ahead.
Finish your thought.
So I think being able to do this reset, I think they're gonna, number one, they're gonna see how this thing performs, right? Like if this movie comes out and it makes $1 billion, I understand people are gonna be mad, but they're probably gonna bring it back, bro.
And that's what I want to talk to you about next, because it's not really a full reboot; it's a soft reboot. So there is parts that they want to keep. Like there's other, like they're keeping Shazam, they're keeping Aquaman right now, for what I understand.
But they're also not going to tell us right now what they're going to keep and what they're not going to keep. Because if they're not going to keep Shazam and they're not going to keep Aquaman, they're not going to tell us that because they still want us to buy the fucking tickets. If they tell us now that both of them are going to get canned, we immediately stop giving a shit about those 2 movies.
Yeah, so hypothetically, let's say that they do keep it. Let's say that this movie is very, very successful. I think the reason why Marvel was successful is because there was one common threat. Everyone knew who the main villain was. We've seen Zod, we've potentially seen Zoom. We don't really know Reverse Flash. So, Darkseid's always there. Brainiac, I know a lot of people wish that Superman would go in the Brainiac direction. Lex Luthor's always someone you can go to. But do you see that Reverse Flash Zoom being like a big bad for a couple of movies going across? Or like, do you see that's more like just a Flash and the Rogues type thing separate?
I think if there is a Reverse Flash,
yeah.
And again, my theory is that it's going to be Evil Barry, not necessarily Reverse Flash.
Okay. I
think it could be a one and done thing, only because the future is just so uncertain with the Flash character right now because of the actor, right? I also think too, going back to your Marvel thing, the first couple of movies, they were doing their own individual villains.
Yes.
Right? Iron Man 1, Thor, Captain America, First Avenger, all that kind of stuff. And then they started doing the little breadcrumbs leading up to Thanos, right? And we didn't get Thanos until, movie, 16 or something crazy like that, right? So, like, it's a slow burn, right? And again, it goes
Mhm.
back to the thing we were talking about when James Gunn announced his slate about the Green Lantern show, about how they discover something that's going to have ramifications for the entire DC universe. That's where I think we're going to get our first taste at the big bad that's going to force all these DC heroes to create a new Justice League.
Okay.
That's
So
where I think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen in like the Flash. I think the Flash's purpose for like this movie is going to be resetting and setting up James Gunn's universe. It's going to be putting a cap officially on the old regime and ushering in the new.
So I agree with you, but I think they're also trying to keep the door open. The reason I think they keep the door open is because then Justice League need a Flash. You need a Flash. And if the movie,
I agree.
I find it very hard. You're not going to just go right to Wally West. So I find it in my head very hard that with Barry Allen being your main focus, as in capping off this entire pre-James Gunn universe, that he is the one person that was from before that is currently there that knows what happened. So you almost like would have to use him. In my personal opinion, like I feel like no matter what the fans feel, PR wise, they're going to say, "Hey, he's doing all the right things." But as long as he doesn't publicly screw up again, I'm going to say he's going to be the Flash moving forward.
Yeah, I think
you need something there.
That's a good point because he would be, especially if he's the one who resets the universe, he's going to be the only one that has knowledge of it. The only other way that, and would be a left field thing, the only other way that they could still use a Flash but not use him is if they introduced Wally West somehow in this movie.
Okay.
Where like when he goes back, like after he inevitably resets the timeline and sets things right again, or salvageable, let's call it, that they introduce Wally West in some way. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I personally, I don't want that to happen. I feel like the last Justice League we got was just left so unfulfilled. I just want another crack at the classic characters. I want another crack at Clark, Bruce, Barry, Arthur, Diana.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
I'm so happy you said that because I was laughing because you said they can do another way, and if you had mentioned the CW Barry Allen, we would have had a problem. That's what I was thinking.
No. You know me better than that. I think, and look, I don't want to offend any CW fans.
I'll take Arrow. Arrow was great,
but I think that shit is trash.
Arrow season 1 was a freaking epic show. That was if you gave me Green Arrow and just made it that form, I'm taking it. Everything else you can have it. We
won't see Green Arrow on any screens for a while because he will not be making a big screen anytime soon. Oh, Ollie. Anyways, I want to get back to the trailer. I know we kind of got off topic a little bit, but I'm very interested with like some of the action scenes. Number one, I love that they did they finally put some blue in Batman's uniform when you see like presumably Ben Affleck's Batman. There's a shot of the suit that he's wearing, and it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's what shot I'm talking about. It's weird.
Like mechanic kind of look. Like
yeah. I'm trying to figure out like what that's about.
I don't know because like even the trailer when it shows like we're presuming this is Bruce with the long hair and then touching the picture, and then there's 7 different suits, and like of course the rumors is one suit's from the original '89 film, one is from the desert of of Ben Affleck's Batman, and then a couple of them to sprinkle in there. We don't know what they are. We can look at them and think we know what they are. We really don't. So I guess you're going to have a bunch of suits where Batman does. He has the technology on top of the smarts and wit to do those things.
Right.
So it's pretty cool having like them expanding on Bruce and Batman and the evolution of what he became and what he becomes versus the other films just showing. Now him coming down from the top in that fight scene was legit. I can't lie. That was pretty dope.
Yeah. I'm liking the way that they're doing like the combat with him.
I can't like even like the whole imagery of the Batmobile and then like on the edge and then it was dope. I can't lie about that. You're Batman. Was Batman fans stand up? You
Yeah,
guys got a
yeah,
winner on that one.
yeah. We're standing. Don't you worry. We're standing up. We are all in unison.
So do you see this film being like resembling the Tony Stark Peter Parker type thing, where like almost the mentor and the young buck?
You know, that's a good question. I never really thought about it that way. Because if you look at like the first Justice League, I mean, it was Batman who recruited Barry, right? So of course Barry is kind of and Barry fanboys out a lot when he's around Bruce. In both iterations. I mean, in this one with Michael Keaton and with Ben Affleck. So like, I do think that Bruce is like the voice of reason for him a little bit. I mean, even in the trailer, you know, he says, Bruce, I can fix things. And Bruce is like, yeah, but you could also destroy everything. So,
and then he does what he wants.
And he does what he wants anyways, because that's, you know, it's Barry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe, but this other iteration of Batman seems to have a little bit of a different temperament than Ben Affleck's, because he's just like, you want some help? Like, I'm down.
Pretty much.
I'm down to do whatever. Yeah.
When they showed him and like you heard like the music and like just I got a little hype. I can't lie. I got hype because you first saw the mask on the floor. I was like, yo, that's not. Then yeah, it makes me think that just like DC got it right. And I never thought I would say this. Like I said earlier in publicly, like DC's got this right, and they have my money. Like I'm definitely going to purchase this and watch this film.
Yeah, no, I feel good. I feel really good about this trailer. Like, again, we've been fooled by trailers before, and people have, you know, behind the scenes tried to say, "Oh, you know, this is a masterpiece." Yeah, we've been down that road before.
Yeah,
but given all the other PR stuff that's been going on with The Flash, I feel like they wouldn't be sticking their necks out for this film as much as they are if it wasn't actually great.
You think? Okay. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you because they didn't have to restart with using The Flash. I know everyone wants to say, oh, it only makes sense if they restart The Flash. No, they could say, hey, new sheriff in town. This is the first film of my universe.
And they didn't have to make this transition.
Yeah, so
they could have just scrapped the whole thing and started and just been like, nothing else exists. We're just starting new with this film.
They need funding to make those other movies, which is why you said earlier they're going to put all those movies out. But then in that case, you will put out every movie. You wouldn't cancel or scrap some. So I'm leaning towards this is actually a great film for them to actually keep it inside the library because they know that is going to basically trampoline them into their actual destiny of what they want to do. Tell me what you're more excited for. Are you more excited to see the different Bruce in this one, or are you more excited to see how he puts this together as a Flash? Because Flash is a goofball, but he's still super intelligent. So, like, what are you more excited for?
I'm more excited to see how this is going to impact and usher in the new universe.
Yeah.
Than I am to see Michael Keaton. I mean, don't get me wrong, seeing Michael Keaton is great. But I think I think some of the kind of like fan service that we're going to get is only going to be limited to this one film, because you're allowed to do all kinds of fan service in a film like this because it is a time travel movie. It's a multiverse movie, right? So you can do, it's like Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. You can cast John Krasinski as Reed Richards because we know he's not coming back. And this was we knew that before Wanda popped his fucking head. You know what I mean? So like I feel like we're gonna get some fan service in this movie that's gonna be cool, but I'm more excited to see how the events of this movie impact how things are going to be set up moving forward. Because this is the beginning.
Yeah.
this is the beginning of the new universe, and that's exciting. You know what I mean? And we're very excited to see everything that James Gunn has on his slate that he just announced. So, you know, towards the end of this movie, it's really going to start setting up what we can expect, both, you know, tonally, from a story perspective, everything. We're going to be able to start seeing that. So that for me is more exciting than just getting, you know, multiple Batman in one movie.
Bro, I'm gonna say it's Zod. I want to see what Zod does, man. I just want to see him drop a body. Because
You
you're
know what
telling
Zod's
me,
gonna
like,
do.
you remember the image of showing like the actual ship going down and crashing? Like, what? You gonna tell me there's no Superman there for that moment? Like, and then you saw him like going through a sequel, getting cracked in the face. I want to see what happens.
That's why, you know, I think that they go try to free Kara from her, you know, imprisonment, wherever they're keeping her, right? Because they're just like, all right, well, shit, Clark's not here, but Zod's here. That's problematic because none of us can fight him.
Bro, I cannot wait. This is a freaking take my money now, DC. Whatever you guys are doing, keep doing it. It's giving me hope now for the Aquaman movie. It's giving me hope just for the other movies that they kept, because like if this one has a trailer like this, I don't want to see anything else. Just put me in film. I want to see, put me in the booth.
I'm ready. I'm ready now.
Thing.
I'm ready. And like, I know we're gonna get more trailers because it doesn't come out for another 4 more months, but I'm like, it's too long. Like, you're giving me, you gave me a full trailer 4 months in advance, and I'm like salivating. Like, I want it now.
Yes.
You know, I want it now. I don't even need to see another trailer. I don't need to see it. And honestly, a movie like this, where there's going to be like a lot of time travel and it's setting up a lot of stuff for the future. Yeah. I don't want to see another trailer, dude. I don't want you to give anything away.
Like, drop the movie next week. Like, okay, question for you, young man. 17th of February, Ant-Man comes out. If both movies are dropping right now, the 17th on the same day, you only can pick one.
Shit.
Which one you going to watch?
I hate when you ask me questions like this. Because
it's my job.
I'm allowed to have both. Why are you making me choose?
No, you have one ticket. Stop it. You have one ticket. Damn it. Oh, I love this.
That's hard. So I can either watch Ant-Man, Quantumania, or The Flash.
Yes.
Oh, damn. I think I have to go big risk, big reward.
Say it.
I'm going to say The Flash.
And I would agree with you. And
I know you would. Only because I know Ant-Man, Quantumania is going to be good. I know it's going to be good. There's so much unknown with The Flash, and the implications it has means so much more to me than the implications of Quantumania. And that's not a shot at Quantumania at all, because I think Kang is going to wreck shit.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see that movie, which we will be doing a spoiler review for Quantumania.
Oh, heavy spoiler.
Right after we see that. So y'all look out for that too.
Anything else, bro? This is this is fun times. Fun time.
No, I feel like we got really nerdy in this one. There might be some listeners that are like, y'all didn't even really talk about the trailer, but it's fine. We're just, you know, we're having fun theorizing about it, and just this is gonna be big. This is gonna be big. I'm really, really excited. I'm glad that we finally got this trailer, because this movie's kind of been in limbo for years.
Yeah.
And to see the first trailer coming off of the heels of James Gunn announcing his new slate, I think was very, very smart on their part, was to wait until James Gunn announced his slate to put this trailer out, because now we know, okay, this is leading up to James Gunn stuff.
Yes.
Now we're starting to see this is the new regime with their hands all over this.
I'm going to say that The Dark Knight is probably or The Batman is probably the highest grossing DC film. I'm not sure which one is, but I'm banking on one of those two. I think The Flash breaks all records for DC.
It could.
I think it becomes the most gross because like it's been so long, and we have a plan afterwards, and that trailer hit. There's not many trailers I watched that really hit. That trailer, it hit. It was great.
Yeah, I think it has the potential to make a fuck ton of money, but the one thing I mean, people who don't want to support Ezra, that could have a hit, but if it's good, it's gonna have legs, and that means people are going to go back and see it again,
multiple times. I think, like for instance, like Black Panther. I think one of the main reasons Black Panther was so successful is because people like you and I went and purchased and saw the movie more than one time.
Yeah,
and I think that's like, hey, do we bring more people with us for that? I think The Flash has the personality if the character is played right. And just, he has that almost like free spirit type vibe that almost gives Spider-Man type vibes inside of a room full of grown men.
Right.
And then having a movie focused on him making big time life or death decisions that impact the entire universe and what's going to move forward with James Gunn. Yeah, that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just, I feel like, and maybe that's why it took them so long to get this movie out. Because maybe when the new regime came in, they were just like, "Everybody, stop!
Yes,
we're gonna do some reshoots on this. Make sure that it's polished up to our standard." Because this movie is incredibly important for James Gunn and Peter Safran. Yeah, because again, this is ushering in their new universe, so it can't suck. It can't
at all. Or people are going to be like, next day, I want Zack Snyder back. It's not going to even matter because they can't screw up. They
cannot fail with this one.
This is like when you have someone else like that backup quarterback that starting like everyone love, like, and you come in like, yeah, I'm the new guy. No, they want the old head. They want him back.
You better not go in there and throw no picks, boy.
Yeah, like, you're out of here, cat. Like, we don't want you. And your next film moving forward, we're not supporting that, which means
exactly
no money coming in. Give me that. So
yeah, so I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good, and that's not the fanboy in me. I generally think that this is gonna be good.
I love it. Love it. So you guys, like, subscribe, please share. Thank y'all for everything. I know we went off a little off topic, but it's really within topic though. It's Flash. Everything's possible.
Everything is possible. So, I mean, let us know in the comments what y'all theories are, what y'all think is going to happen, how this is going to usher in the new DC universe. And we'll definitely catch you guys next week for the Quantumania review. Super excited about getting into that. Yes. I'm sure Duran and I will be smiling ear to ear.
Bruh, I cannot wait. Are we doing that yet? I can't wait.
Well, guys, I've been Prince. Duran, it's a pleasure as always, bro.
Always, man.
And we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Peace and love.